Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of ReRacked. I don't know what number episode it is. We've not done this about 3 months. I'm Phil, M18 Snooker, and unfortunately, I only have one guest today because Catherine's busy. But the good news is I've now met Glen. So,
Yeah.
how do you find Masters?
Oh, it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I was just there for just for the semi-finals last Saturday.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it was brilliant. I've been to all the Triple Crown events now. It probably is my favorite. Just I don't know, there's a different feeling around it compared to maybe the Crucible. Like it always has that special feeling, but there's just something about Ali Pali that yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but even just around it, you can feel that there's a different vibe around the place.
yeah. I will say I knew Ali Polly's big beforehand. I've seen pictures, obviously, but when I first arrived, I was just awestruck at how big it was and how grand it
Mm.
was.
Yeah, it's massive. I actually couldn't believe how big it was. Like I haven't been there before, so yeah, I was very surprised how big it was, and yeah, just it's massive. It's a massive place.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky enough that I was staying there. I stayed in London for 4 days because I came
Mm.
down for Friday, went back on Sunday. So I stayed for 4 days at the Rosary Alexandra Palace Hotel in Muswell Hill. And
Mm.
absolutely lovely area in Muswell Hill, it must be
Yeah.
said. Very cultural, very pleasant. But the atmosphere there was absolutely electric for both semi-finals.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I was just noting down. Just even like the atmosphere itself was brilliant, but Rob Walker's he's unbelievable. The way the enthusiasm he shows, like to get the crowd up for it is unbelievable. It's
Yeah,
he adds to it. He definitely adds to the event itself.
absolutely. I think I got a recording on my phone of
Mm.
the way Rob Walker hypes the crowd up.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry, there's just no one better at it.
yeah. Like I know Phil Seymour's doing the one today, but like he's very good as well. But Rob's just he's different class in what he does.
That's
Brilliant.
it. It's not taking away from anyone like Phil Seymour or Tahir
No,
Chat. It's
no,
just that he's just that. Rob Walker's just got this certain quality
yeah,
where he makes everything feel more important.
yeah. Like even I don't know, just the way he got the crowd up for that Murphy and Ronnie semi final last week was
Yeah,
brilliant. You could feel how big of a match it was even before it started, just by the way he got the crowd got the crowd going before it.
absolutely. I think that brings us on nicely to what we've missed, which is the UK Championship and the Masters have both happened since we last recorded.
Yeah.
And it turns out this funny old Sullivan bloke's not bad at snooker.
No, he's not bad at all. Yeah, I think we are just mentioning there about him playing Ding last night. It's like to play so much now. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable. But yeah, it was great to see him win the UK anyway. So that's the oldest and the youngest now. He holds the title of that.
yeah. I was astonished if I was reading through my program during the
Mm.
first day final when I was there, and I was astonished to find the first time Ronnie had been to the Master Semi finals for about 4 years.
Yeah, just a bit surprised by that.
Considering Ali Palace of his home,
Yeah.
he's the local boy effectively.
Yeah, because it feels like he has dominated the Triple Crown events, but yeah, I'm surprised that he hasn't been to a semi final in so long.
Yeah, and back to the thing with Ding. Oh, you can vouch for it. I was joking just before we started recording that I remember when Ding versus Ronnie used to feel special. And now
Mm,
we faced off 3 times in a month and a half.
mm. I the probably the bad part about it is that Ronnie just seems to win now. That there's not much of a question now who's going to win. It's Ronnie at the minute anyway. But like Ding, I think Ding is coming back to form, so it's good to see him playing better. But I don't think anyone can live with Ronnie at the minute.
Oh yeah, Ding's having his best season in years.
Yeah.
You know, people say he did reach the UK Championship final last season, and he did, but he didn't do a lot aside from that.
Hmm.
This is his first time in years where Ding has genuinely felt like a major threat
Yeah.
in every event.
Well, it's good. It's good to see. I don't know, like he's such a legend of the game. It's great to see him playing like that now.
Yeah, it is because we have worried for a long time, but what if the pressure of being the Chinese hope has finally got to him?
Yeah,
What if
and
he's finally been done in mentally?
yeah, and all like a lot of people are saying that just with the current crop of Chinese coming through, this thing might fall away. But it seems to be the opposite, that it maybe motivated him a bit to
Yeah,
play even better. So hopefully he can keep playing the way he has been for a bit longer now.
yeah. I mean, when Zhao Tong broke through the way he did, I think everyone thought, well, this is the end of Ding as the Chinese star. He's probably just going to slowly start fading away over the next few years. But
Yeah.
obviously, what happened with Zhao happened, and now Ding's the top guy in China
Hmm.
again.
Yeah. Like another player that's I've been impressed with this year is Shang Anda, so he does
Yeah,
have a bit of competition there, but
actually.
yeah,
Zhang Anda's really broken through this season.
yeah, he's
Don't
been
get me
very
wrong, as soon as he learns how to win a match with pressure on it, he'll be great.
yeah, exactly.
He really irritates me, Joe, because he should be a top 16 player at least, if not top 10. Because
Mm,
how many times do you see him turn up to a match and just make 3, 4 centuries in best of 11, just destroy his opponent?
yeah,
But it feels like whenever a match has real tangible pressure on it, he really struggles.
yeah. It seems like like he knows how important a match is, and it just gets him a little bit.
Yeah. But yes, Ronnie won the UK Championship. Then he won the Masters,
Yeah,
beating Ali Carter in, let's be honest, the post match antics that goes to overshadow what was a truly amazing final.
yeah. Like I don't know, I don't know if you'd agree, but I don't think it was a great look for the sport earlier in the week when all that was coming out about the two not getting on or kind of talking about each other after the game. It wasn't a great look, I didn't think.
No, I mean, there is something to be said for contra as wrestling, something professional wrestling Eric Bischoff once said, controversy creates cash. But
Yeah,
and we do want these characters in the game, but at the
definitely.
same time, it's a truly awful look for a game with the things that they were saying about each other.
Yeah, like I don't like snooker specifically, but like that really doesn't go on in sport, talking like that about your opponent. So, um, yeah, it's definitely something that, like as you were saying there, we definitely do want rivalries and characters in the game, but I think it might have just went a bit too far earlier this week or last Sunday night.
Yeah. And my quick thoughts on who's in the right in that situation.
Mhm.
There is no right in that situation. They're both being idiots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very hard to be on the side of one of the players because I think they've just gone a bit too far, both of them now at this stage.
Yeah,
But another thing, like the way the crowd was Sunday night, yeah, I didn't really like that. I thought like you could understand where Ali was coming from in that and saying that the way are a bit over the top, and yeah, you could even watching it on telly, you could understand that, and even being there from the day before, they were a bit more rowdy than usual, but
yeah,
um, I think that's like when Ronnie's playing, especially in London, that you have to kind of accept that, but maybe it was a bit too much on Sunday night.
that's the thing. I do understand Ali's frustrations.
Yeah.
I do have my own issues with how the crowd can be sometimes in these events, especially when Ronnie is playing. And I'll go on record to say that I have issues with that.
Hmm.
But at the same time, can Ali truthfully look himself in the mirror and say he was not expecting that?
No.
The crowd have been the same in these events for years at this
Yeah.
point. It's not a new phenomenon.
No, it's definitely not new. And I think with yeah, I don't know now if it's just the case in Ali Pali, but it did feel a bit louder than usual last week. Oh yeah, last week.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it's just because it was live there, so I was noticing it more, but
Yeah, maybe yeah.
it did seem loud and rowdier than normal. It
There's
does feel like a few of the fans got tanked up before the first semi-final, at least, which I don't understand considering the frankly ridiculous prices of drinks there.
yeah, exactly. And another like the fact that the first semi final was over so early, there was a bit of a gap between the first and the second one, so there was
Yeah, because obviously
more time.
there was 8 frames between Ronnie and Murphy, and it's not like either frames lasted a long time.
No, definitely not. Like the two frames that Murphy did win were both centuries, so and
Yeah,
they didn't take long at all.
and just to touch on Murphy, I saw quite a few people on social media criticizing Murphy's interview after his loss to Ronnie for not being genuine enough. And I'm there thinking, it's every interview Sean Murphy's done for about 2 years.
Yeah, like
That is why he talks about his opponents where he loses.
yeah, there's always I think no matter what Murphy says or does, there's always going to be problems. Like this thing about him being a pundit during the tournament has caused big, well, caused a lot of talk on social media. So I'm not really sure what way I feel about it because I think Mark Allen does the exact same, but he doesn't seem to get the flack that Murphy does. So I don't know. It's hard to know.
That's it, and that's the subject I'd like to come back to in a future episode because
Mm.
I'd love to have a full discussion on it, especially when Catherine's here. But just to say that my personal view on that is if they feel like they can do punditry and play to a good enough level, let them.
Mm.
Because if they lose because they spent too much, been up till midnight doing punditry the night before, that's not their opponent's fault. They're
No,
the only
that's their
ones
fault.
suffering.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Like the night before Murphy's semi final with Ronnie, I know he was in the studio late, so
Yeah,
maybe that did affect him. But I
because obviously he's doing punditry for Mark Allen and Mark Selby.
yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't have a massive problem with it. I think maybe the day before, see, the tournaments are over such a short period, so you can't probably do a full day before the before a match that that you just take off. But maybe the session before your match, or even if Murphy's out in a morning session, that he takes the evening session off punditry or something
Yeah,
like that. But um, yeah, I wouldn't have a massive problem with it.
same here to be honest. Mark Allen, how good was that 147?
Oh, quality and yeah, it was brilliant. There
It
seems to
felt
be
like after
yeah,
he won, so it felt like after he won the frame, every single shot was absolutely incredible.
yeah. It seems to be like there's more centuries now. Well, recently, I'm not sure if you feel the same or um, I don't know, maybe the standard's just higher. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's very good at the minute.
Yeah. I mean, the Masters, a lot of people are actually talking about how tight the pockets were,
Mm.
which is unheard of in snooker these days because people are always complaining it's too easy to score.
Yeah, that's usually always the conversation about that the pockets are too big.
Yeah, but people were talking about how the pockets were playing particularly tight there.
No, yeah, but it just seemed like every shot Mark Allen had, it was just pinpoint. It was perfect.
Yeah, what a play and what a comeback from 4-1. But
Yeah,
4-1, quite honestly, he looks absolutely lost.
yeah. I think he'll have his eyes on that 147,000 bonus now in Sheffield.
Yeah. And in terms of players who are in contention for that, for having made a century in the UK Championship or Masters, I think it's Alan Zusiu and maybe someone else.
Yeah, did Ding make Ding is Ding in that Ding make it a maximum?
I'll ask Google.
Yeah, I think Ding could be in the shout of that bonus as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ding made a 147 against Ronnie, didn't he?
Oh, I was right. Yes, yeah,
I remember because I was actually in work at the time. I quickly checked my phone on my lunch break because you always briefly check your phone on your lunch break for a minute if you need a quick break.
yeah.
I saw Ronnie Ding had made a 147 and thought, "Blooming heck."
Mhm.
Considering you've been what 4-0 down.
Yeah. I don't know if that stage he was kind of resigned to losing this.
Yeah.
He, sometimes that's players play better when they're like that.
Oh, you just throw caution to the wind effectively.
Exactly. Yeah.
But visiting the Carter Ronnie situation again for a moment, I will make no apologies about facts that I like Ali Carter. I know he's very much not everybody's cup of tea, but
Yeah.
on a personal note, I don't agree with some of his politics, but I don't base whether I like someone purely on politics. And as a person, I find him very genuine, very heart on sleeve.
Yeah, like just if you're just going by the way he plays, yeah, he's very heart on sleeve is probably the right way to describe him. He's like he's not. It feels like it's very hard to beat Ali. Well, especially at the minute because he's in great form. But um, all week last week and at the Masters, I was very impressed with him.
Yeah.
And
You go.
that 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 kind of row between him and Ronnie. When did that start? Was it? It wasn't that little shoulder barge in 2018. It was before then, was it?
I don't exactly remember. I know
Yeah.
there's that shoulder bar. I know there've been issues between them before then, but I don't know when the issues started particularly.
Mm.
That's something to look up for a future episode, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because it does overshadow one of the truly great Triple Crown finals, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
standard was just unbelievable.
Yeah, like I think yeah, it kind of overshadows how well Carter did play. I know he lost, but I don't think people are talking about enough how well he did play to even get to the final. But in the
Yeah,
final, like he was 5-3 up after the first session. Like, it's very impressive.
and people talk about facts he just absolutely fell apart. I wouldn't say he fell apart. He
No,
missed a difficult pink after getting unlucky, where he would have gone, I think, 8-7 up if he had gone in. And that just seems to absolutely galvanise Ronnie more than anything.
yeah, I don't think there's enough talk about that. And
Yeah, yeah, we
like,
should be so gone.
yeah, it could have been completely different if he went 8-7 up. You never know.
Yeah, I think if he'd gone 8-7 up, he probably would have taken it personally.
Yeah, yeah,
He would have had the confidence of knocking in that difficult pot. But
exactly. It's mad how things can change just on one pot or one missed pot.
yeah, honestly, I don't think we should be talking about Carter falling apart. We should be
No,
talking about how well Ronnie had to play in that match just to win 10-7. But he wasn't perfect, but he was absolutely excellent.
oh, he was. Especially, I know that in the first session he was kind of maybe going for shots or going maybe too aggressive, but once the evening session started, he was quality.
Yeah, and the thing is, being so aggressive, by most accounts, that's just how he'd been playing throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
And it had worked for him.
Yeah, there's no point changing something that's working so well.
Yeah,
I did think Ronnie, like, well, he was mentioning the bottle and things like that in his interview after. I think that was a bit harsh to be mentioned that, or 'cause he was kind of getting a Carter for that reason. But
yeah,
yeah, I thought that was a bit harsh.
yeah. And it does bring me to a thing I have with some of Ronnie's fans, which is it does sometimes feel like the major fanboys you find will just
Mm.
believe anything he says.
Yeah, I think you just need to take a massive pinch of salt but when Ronnie starts speaking because you don't know what he means and
Mhm.
what. Yeah, it's I don't know.
That's the thing. Ronnie has a tendency to want to play 4D chess with his words. He says things and leads you guessing into what he actually means.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Um, it's very unpredictable when he starts speaking. You never know
Yeah,
what's going to come out of his mouth.
yeah. Now, another before we move on to our big topic, which does involve Ronnie, well, a couple more things to run through. Firstly, the announcement of the Riyadh, what do you call it, Saudi Arabia Super Masters of the Golden World, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm not dedicating an entire episode to that, mainly because what's there to say that's not already been said? Saudi Arabia, human rights violations, bad place.
Yeah, exactly.
Barry Hearn worships the almighty dollar, nothing else.
Yeah, I think that there's been a lot of talk about this golden ball as well.
Yes, mainly related to Jasper Carrot.
Yeah,
And if any of our listeners don't understand what that means, you probably weren't watching ITV about 15 years ago.
yeah. I that yeah, I like that show. I was surprised that it was taken off or it hasn't come back.
Yeah. I was, to be honest. But yeah, the Saudi Arabian Masters, my big issue isn't just where it is. It's, yes, it's exactly what snooker needed. Another invitational for the top eight players.
Yeah, it feels like the top eight are being treated really well, and then the lower ranked players, there's very little for them.
Exactly. In case you didn't already have the Shanghai Masters and the
Yeah,
Masters and the
yeah,
Tour Championship and the World Mixed Doubles.
yeah. It's not good. I seen a tweet. I'm not sure who it was from. It was from one of the lower ranked players, just explaining, or well, not explain, just kind of giving out how the top ranked players are being treated a lot better than the lower, and there was a couple of different players that
Yeah,
were,
I know.
were
I know. I saw something from Stephen Hallworth saying that he was worried the top eight. It's a tongue-in-cheek tweet that he was worried the top eight were going to run out of money.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, I seen that too.
Um, I think Andrew Paget and Elliot Slesser have made a point about it as well because Slesser will literally say whatever he likes on Twitter,
Yeah,
and Andrew Paget's presumably trying to make himself relevant again.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think it's tournaments at the start of March, so um, I think so far, yeah. So the top eight players, and then there's two wild cards.
Yeah,
So
and wild cards. One will probably be some sort of local player no one's ever heard of who
yeah,
will lose 6-0 in round one or whatever. And the other one, it wouldn't surprise me if they invite Rafai just because Asian players, he's from the area,
yeah,
he runs
exactly.
pretty close to Saudi Arabia. So you can parade him as local player, even though he's not really, but
No, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's actually a good call. Good call. I presume it'll be close to the time when the wild cards will be announced.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Saudi Arabian Masters. A terrible idea by terrible people. Steve Dawson out. Thank you. That's my TED talk for today. And another thing once mentioned, something that isn't actually coming up until October, but there's been a lot of talk about it the past few weeks because we're within a year of it now, which is the unbanning of Stephen Lee.
Mm.
For those of you who somehow don't know, presumably you're very new to snooker and don't know what Wikipedia is. Stephen Lee was former top eight player in the world. I think he reached top eight anyway. And in 2014, he was banned from snooker for, I think, 10 years for match fixing.
I actually think he got a
12
12 year.
years. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
because backdated when he first suspended in 2012, wasn't it? It
exactly. Yeah,
was 12 years in 2014, backdated 2012.
yeah.
And there's everyone thought at the time, well, he's going to be 50 by the time he's banned. There's no way he's coming back. But
Mm.
now, within a year of his ban expiring, people have been talking about is it fair for Stephen Lee to come back? I'm there thinking, well, yes. He served his ban. What more do you
Exactly.
to do?
Exactly. He served the full length of the ban, so why not?
Yeah, he served the full length of the ban. He's still got to return to a sport which he has not played professionally for 12 years,
Yeah,
during which time the sport has evolved massively.
yeah. I just looking there, he got to fifth in the world. That's yeah, it's mad.
Yeah,
In
it was
2004.
from a world semi-finalist. There was
Yeah.
genuinely a time when I think a lot of people thought Stephen Lee was going to be a world champion
Hmm.
because you see things about he had the Rolls Royce Q action.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wonder now, will he come back on tour? Have you seen any indication that he might or
Uh, Outside speculation, no.
no?
I know there was, I think it was 900 last year, but an interview with him and his son Alfie, who is one of England's top amateurs at the moment,
Hmm.
and they were asking him if he intended on returning to snooker when his ban was up. I think he just sort of laughed the question off without really getting an answer.
Right.
So
Okay.
the thing is, if he does, I don't think he'd get back on tour. The game just changed that much, and
The standard's
it's
too high at the minute, isn't it? Like standards very
exactly
yeah.
the standards too high across the board. He'd have too much to learn. Again, I just don't think he'd get anywhere.
Yeah, like
I can see him maybe putting feelers out to compete in the odd amateur event, but
mm. Like to take up a sport, or well, not take it up, but like to restart playing after 10 years, like it's very hard. It'll be very hard for him to get back on tour, like after so long.
exactly, he also has to relearn everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But on a personal note, I almost would like to see him give it a go, just to see
Mm,
if he actually still could.
yeah,
Out
exactly.
of interest,
It's kind
because
of yeah, kind of feel the same way when I see Hendry coming back. I know it's completely different, but
yeah,
I see Hendry doing well, but that just hasn't worked out as of yet. And yeah,
I mean, I know a lot of people think I've got an issue with the older players being on tour and all that, which obviously I don't. What my issue is when the players get a free pass, which Gene Lee absolutely is not going to get.
no, definitely not.
You know, I can see him competing in a couple of amateur events to a big fanfare, and then everyone just forgets about him.
Yeah, like his comeback or his first game back, there would be a lot of talk, but
Yeah,
if it doesn't go too well, that'll soon be forgotten about.
absolutely. But that's my view on the Stephen Lee situation.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up for today, anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I don't know if you want just to mention the final between Trump and Ronnie this evening or
Oh
today.
yeah, I'll be honest, not watched a lot of Grand Prix, but the
Yeah.
final Grand Prix tonight, Judge Trump versus Ronnie. Ronnie absolutely dismantled Ding in their 3,000th match of the year
Um,
yesterday, 6-1.
yeah,
Trump beat Kelly Peng, I think, 6-2.
yeah.
And
It's
the
it,
top,
it's
gone.
set up to be. It could be a classic today between
Yeah,
them. You just if Ronnie plays anything like he did last night against Ding, Trump, I don't think anyone has would have a chance. So I wouldn't give Trump much of a chance if Ronnie's in that sort of form. But yeah, I can see Trump up in his game as well. So I have a feeling it'll be close.
yeah. I actually think Judd will win.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's been talking about how good Ronnie's been lately and how he's going to storm it. Listening to Judd's interview after his semi-final win, there is nothing that Judd Trump gets heated up by more than a
Mm,
top quality opponent playing well.
yeah. I thought the exact same until seeing Ronnie's performance last night. So yeah, was kind of just blown away by the way he played last night. But yeah, Judd's been playing good
Yeah,
lately, and definitely this week he looks very focused. Like coming into this week with Ronnie winning the Masters last Sunday night, I was thinking that he he's the sort that he could be out. He could be out in the first round, Ronnie, but he looks focused as well. So it's set up nicely.
yeah. Um, it reminds me of something we're going to briefly talk about, which is Ken Doherty was speculating, a few other people speculated that if Ronnie wins his eighth world title this year, he may just retire after that. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's very hard. I kind of just stopped predicting what Ronnie's going to do because he's
Yeah.
just so unpredictable at this stage. But um, yeah, I no, I don't think he'll call it a day. I think like even just looking at him last night, he's too good. Even if he was to drop a couple of levels, he's still as good or even better than everyone else. So I think he'll keep playing on, but just going by what he says, he just loves competing and that. I don't really know whether to believe that or what motivates him to keep playing. But no, I don't think he's going to call it a day. To be honest,
Now, my thing with Ronnie's returns the whole 888 thing is I don't think Ronnie's retirement. This is something in mind on past years. I don't think Ronnie's retirement depends on accolades anymore. I
yeah,
don't think it's up to what he wins when. It feels like he's waiting for something. Now, whether that something is him to have a performance he's completely satisfied with inside, he can't get better than that.
yeah,
Or based on a few things he's said in the past, perhaps something to do with making the game better. Perhaps he's just waiting for players to reach what he feels like is his standard.
mm. But I don't think. Well, it's hard to see anyone reaching that standard. But
Exactly. I
mm,
don't think anyone will ever reach the standard of Ronnie at his best
no,
because
definitely not.
Ronnie O'Sullivan at his best is the closest thing we're ever going to get to an absolutely unbeatable sportsman
Yeah,
because everything is just 10 out of 10 all across the board.
yeah. It's even I don't know if you've noticed or if anyone notices safety play is even it's brilliant as well at the minute.
Yeah, that's something I've been saying a bit on Twitter recently. That's
Yeah.
something I don't think he gets enough credit for. His
No, I think
safety in past couple of years has been up there the best in the world.
yeah, I think when everyone kind of thinks of Ronnie, they think of the big breaks and his cue ball control and that, but
Yeah, and to be fair, he's made well over 1,000 centuries at this point.
yeah, exactly. But
So he will think it's great building, but his safety play, when you can be bothered, is absolutely immaculate.
it is, yeah, it is. I think that's what kind of opens up the opportunities to make these big breaks is
Yeah,
safety plays. Yeah, it's brilliant.
exactly. I feel like that's changed past years because he needs those safeties to open up the opportunities because he's not going. I'm not saying he's a bad long potter by any means, but he isn't one of the best long potters in the world. He isn't a Robertson or a Trump.
Mm,
He isn't going to just create chances with long, unbelievable long pots in every single frame.
no,
But yeah, I think there's a certain intangible that he's waiting for before he calls it a day. I don't think that's coming anytime soon.
no. Yeah, it's very hard to know what he's actually waiting for, but yeah, I think you could be right on that.
But that's our views on a lot of things. I'd be interested to know what everybody else thinks. I
Yeah,
think we'll call it a day there because Glen needs to shoot off. I need to shoot off.
yeah,
So you can find me at M18 Snooker. I think
yeah.
that's Twitter handle, not looked recently. You can find this podcast at ReRacked Pod. I finally got that right first attempt. And can find Glen at Snooker365.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wherever you're listening to this, if you've not listened to previous episodes, please do. They're very entertaining. At least I say they are.
Yeah.
And one of the kids at the school workout likes them as well. And if he likes them, that's more enough for me.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
So until next time, keep queuing. I think that's the way we end.
That's it.